it's EBAday 2022 here in Vienna. I'm Debbie Bell Hosking, and I'm sat here with Ainsley Ward of CGI. We're talking Requesttopay. Ainsley, hello.
Hi.
We've just been chatting about how busy it is outside of our studio today.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. I'm really surprised at just how many people there are here. It's been an amazing couple of days.
It really has, hasn't it? Now, we're here to talk about Requesttopay. So we were chatting about how some banks have yet to consider how data will be populated in the new ISO 20022 transactions. My question to you is, how is Requesttopay key in this?
Well, to be honest, we've had ISO in market, particularly in Europe, for going on 10, 15 years, and it's not a new thing. But still, as we move through the SWIFT migration and through the central markets migrations, many banks are sort of treating this as a compliance opportunity. Let's just get done what we have to do to comply with the regulations. And there's a strong belief that as soon as ISO's in place, all of this data will magically appear. I mean, they sort of see it as a structured field of dreams that once it's there, corporates will suddenly go, fantastic, we've been waiting for this, and the information will flow into it. But it's really not the case. You've got to give some kind of incentive and method for clients to want to part with their data, and that means adding more value to the transaction. And that's where I believe that Requesttopay will really be the driver for pushing data into the lovely structured fields we've built with our ISO 20022 migration.
So thank you, Ainsley, and you touched on corporate there for a moment as well. So my question now to you is, how can Requesttopay make a difference to a bank's corporate clients?
Well, certainly for the retail customers, the small business customers, we really sort of understand that please pay me kind of use case, and it's really straightforward. But as we move into the corporate world, we start to look at the world of electronic invoice presentment, the payment and negotiation around that. Previously, we've had to go into these cycles where a payment was received by a corporate and they didn't necessarily know what that payment was for. There might have been a field in there that indicated it covered one or two invoices, or half of this one and the pieces off that one. Now we have a formal method where we can start to have a conversation between the corporate and their clients. And the bank has the ability to facilitate that using these Requesttopay messages. Enables all of it to be recorded, and when the payment is shipped to the back end of that Requesttopay solution, it brings through all of the information surrounding that payment, which makes automated reconciliation much more easy, which of course reduces the work on treasury departments within a corporate, and therefore makes them more efficient, allows them to manage their cash flow in a much better way.
And you did say Requesttopay is not a new idea.
No, absolutely not. I remember being involved in Requesttopay back in 2003. So I lived in Belgium for a number of years. In the Belgian market, they had Isabel, which bought out both a consumer solution, Zoomit, and the main Isabel services themselves, and really sort of bought into the market of how we should manage bill pay, how we should manage corporate invoicing. But to be honest, the technology and the support at a wider level wasn't quite there. And we find in the payments world, which I've been part of for more than 20 years, we have a lot of good ideas, but the timing's not right for them because either the technology's not in place, the regulation's not in place, or enough stakeholders aren't involved in getting those things to market. So here with Requesttopay, probably it looks like the timing is right for it. We've got the technology that will support it. We've got corporate ERP systems, in fact, small business ERP systems, which are really rolling out across the market. We've got the demand to do things in a more consumer-oriented way, and to sort of drive the payments with the data so we can actually reconcile those in a much better way. And we're really seeing that that's a sort of an understanding in the market, and the technology and timing really is coming to the fruition.
And that's why you feel Requesttopay could work for now, whereas it wasn't hugely successful before.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the rollout we have at a global level of ISO messaging, so the pipe to support these messages being done properly, that are proliferating across all of the banks. So we've got sort of a saturation of the underpinnings, which we're building with ISO, and we're having to build with ISO because of the regulation. And now we have the ability to move that forward, add additional layers to it, and really bring value to corporate clients and make business significantly better and more efficient.
So you mentioned ISO regulation, which is again nothing new to anybody now. Request to pay, will that need to be regulated in a similar way?
For some banks, no. There are banks out there that they see a good opportunity and they look at the way that the market is working, and they will go out and grab that opportunity and put Requesttopay in and make a real success of it. In fact, we've been working with some external partners that have been doing some really interesting things in the Requesttopay space. It really is a sad realization that we need to force the agenda forwards, but really to get the best benefits out of the money we've all invested in getting ISO rolled out, and we will continue to invest through till 2025. To get the best out of that, we have to create the portal through which organisations will push their data in. And once the data is into ISO, ISO has value, and that data can be used to really enrich the experience of banking clients around the world, and therefore will have a network effect on really growing things going forwards.
Ainsley, thank you very much for all your insight on Request to Pay.
Thank you.